In this video, I am going to talk about troubleshooting WLAN connectivity. First, let me to explain about troubleshooting client connectivity. When one or more network users report that they are having problems, your first course of action should be to gather more information. Begin with a broad perspective and then try to ask pointed questions that will narrow the scope of possible causes. You do not want to panic or waste time chasing irrelevant things. Instead, ask questions and try to notice patterns or similarities in the answers you receive. For example, if you get reports from many people in the same area, perhaps an AP is misconfigured or malfunctioning. Reports from many areas or from a single service set identifier or SSID may indicate problems with the controller configuration. However, if you receive a report of only one wireless user having problems, it might not make sense to spend time troubleshooting a controller where many users are supported. Instead, you should focus on that one user's client device and its interaction with an AP. As you prepare to troubleshoot a single wireless client, think about all of the things a client needs to join and use the network. This figure illustrates the following conditions that must be met for a successful association. Client is within RF range of an AP asked to associate. Client authenticates, and client requests and receive an IP address. Try to gather information from the end user to see what the client is experiencing. I cannot connect or the Wi-Fi is down might actually mean that the user's device cannot associate, cannot get an IP address, or cannot authenticate. A closer inspection of the device might reveal more clues. Therefore, at a minimum, you will need the wireless adapter MAC address from the client device, as well as its physical location. The end user might try to tell you about a specific AP that is in the room or within, for example, view. Record that information too, but remember that the client device selects which AP it wants to use, not the human user. The device may well be using a completely different AP. In this section, I am going to explain about troubleshooting client connectivity from the wireless LAN controller. Most of your time managing and monitoring a wireless network will be spent in the wireless LAN controller graphical user interface or GUI. As a wireless client probes and attempts to associate with an AP, it is essentially communicating with the controller. You can access a wealth of troubleshooting information from the controller as long as you know the client's MAC address. Cisco wireless LAN controllers have two main GUI presentations, one for monitoring and one for more advanced configuration and also monitoring. When you open a web browser to the wireless LAN controller management address, you see the default screen that is shown in this figure. The default screen displays network summary dashboard information on the right portion and monitoring tools in the list on the left. Most of the troubleshooting topics discussed in this video use the tools in the left column list. As you can see, here we have monitoring tools. Okay, and to access the advanced wireless LAN controller graphical user interface for configuration and monitoring, click on the advanced button in the upper right corner of the default screen. If you know a specific wireless client's MAC address, you can enter it into the search bar at the top right of the screen. For example, in this figure, we are looking for this MAC address. It is the target of the search. Okay, and because the MAC address is known to the controller, a match is shown with the client icon below the search bar. And you can either press the enter key or click on the shaded MAC address to display detailed information about the client. The resulting details about the client are displayed in the client view screen, as you can see, shown in this figure. From this output, you can see many details about the client device listed in the left portion of the screen, and you can see connectivity and application information displayed on the right. Let me to explain about checking the client's connection status. As you can see here,